Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prabhupada Shata Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prabhupada Shata Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Dantakoti Vaishnava Ki. Namacharya Srila Hardas Thakur Ki. Premisakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki. Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakur Radhakun Kiri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki. Yamuna Maya Ki. Ganga Maya Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Samveda Bhaktivinoda Ki. All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the Prabhupada.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parvacharya Astottara Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastha Bhutale Srimati Tamal Krishna Goswami Namini. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastha Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Adesatarini. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya Nasapraishu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Now someone should tell him not to use Prabhupada's stick to take out the flower from behind Prabhupada's. That's not what you do. You should tell him in Hindi if he doesn't understand English. You understand? So don't do that again. Okay, so the verses we are reading is from 25 to 7. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Samambanam, Chapter 38, Akrura's Arrival in Vrindavan, text 25 to 27. I'll chant 25 and 26, then we'll do 27 together. Padani tasya kilalokapala Kirita justa malapadarenu Dadarsha goste shiti kautukani Vilakshitani abjayavankushadai. In the cowherd pasture, Akrura saw the footprints of those feet whose pure dust the rulers of all the planets in the universe hold on their crowns. Those footprints of the Lord, distinguished by such marks as the lotus, barley corn, and elephant goat, made the ground wonderfully beautiful. Text 26. Taddarshanalada vivriddha sambrama premnodvaro mashru kalakulekshana ratat avakshandya sateshu chestata prabhuramuni angri rajamsi aho iti. Translation. Increasingly agitated by ecstasy at seeing the Lord's footprints, his bodily hair standing on end because of his pure love, and his eyes filled with tears, Akrura jumped down from his chariot and began rolling about among those footprints, exclaiming, "Ah, this is the dust from my master's feet." Now text 27. Deha britam yan artaha hitva dambam biyam sucham sandeshar yaha hare लिंगा दर्शना श्रावण आदिभिः देहमृतम् इहानर्थो देहमृतम् इहानर्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहमृतं यमर्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहमृतं यनार्थो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहामृतं यानार्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहामृतं यानार्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः मृतं यन्नार्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहमृतं यानार्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहामृतं यानार्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहामृतं यानार्थो हित्वा दम्भं वियं शुचम् संदेशाद्यो हरेर्लिंगा दर्शना श्रवणादिभिः देहमृतं of embodied beings. Yan this much. Artaha, the goal of life. Itva, giving up. Dambam, pride. Biyam, fear. Sucham, and sorrow. Sandeshad, beginning from his, being ordered by Kamsa. Yaha, which, Hare, of Lord Krishna. Linga, the signs. Darshana, with the seeing. Shravana, hearing about. Adibihi, and so on. Translation and purport by the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The very goal of life for all embodied beings is this ecstasy, which Akrura experienced when, upon receiving Kamsa's order, he put aside all pride, fear and lamentation and absorbed himself in seeing, hearing and describing the things that reminded him of Lord Krishna. Please repeat. The very goal of life for all embodied beings is this ecstasy, which Akrura experienced when, upon receiving Kamsa's order, he put aside all pride, fear and lamentation and absorbed himself in seeing, hearing and describing the things that reminded him of Lord Krishna. Purport. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti explains that Akrura gave up fear by openly showing his love and reverence for Krishna, even though he or his family might have been punished by the angry Kamsa. Akrura gave up his pride in being an aristocratic member of society and worshipped the cowherd residents of the simple village of Vrindavana. And he gave up lamenting for his house, wife and family, which were in danger from King Kamsa. Giving up all these things, he rolled in the dust of the lotus feet of God, Krishna. Om Ajnanatamidandasya Jananjana Shalaka Chakshu Sanmaritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Mukam Karati Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yadkripa Tamam Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhum Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Savodata Udodaya Pushpavanta Chitra Sandhu Tamonada. So from verse 25 we can see Akrura now in the in Braj itself. He's seeing the footprints of Krishna in the dust. It must be an amazing experience, at least from Akrura's point of view. When we go to the Dham, we see all the tire marks, right? The rickshaw, and yeah, we used to see. Thank you. We used to see, not anymore. Now everywhere is hard bitumen roads. So unless it's 100 over degrees, you don't see any footprints in it. So, but in some places, like near the Govardhan and so on, there are still some soft sand, and you can see the cow hoof prints. You can see some Brajabasi hoof prints, or some nice devotees taking parikrama around Govardhan. You can see and appreciate that. But at least now, going back 5,000 years ago, you can appreciate how the situation was. And actually, for those of us who been to Vrindavan in the 80s and 90s, we know how the sand dust was Raman Riti, It's really fine dust, really beautiful. And especially in the early morning when you walk, the dust is so cool actually, cooling, and so refreshing. After Mangalarti, we will just walk around Vrindavan Parikram. But now you have to walk on hard bitumen road. And there are some devotees who can do it, and some of us cannot do it anymore, because after staying in the West, you go there and you walk, you cut your feet, and many Maharajas and sannyasis, they tell us don't walk bare feet anymore. They encourage us, because once you get infected, that's it. But still, there are many devotees who take that risk, and I did it the first day. Then after, when Indradumna Maharaj said, don't get injured and so on, then I didn't do it after that. I was thinking he is right, you get infected when you are young is different, but when you're old, particularly if you have some disease, some people have diabetes and so on, it may not heal. And therefore, I thought, better to err on the cautious side. And then again, the scriptures don't really say you have to walk bare feet, right? I'm not sure. If someone can correct me on that. As long as you can do the parikram. So I see people tie cloth around their feet, and I also see some people wear socks and walk, So those are interesting. In any case, going back 5,000 years ago, we see Akrura, he sees the footprints of those feet. When we are reading the Bhagavatam, we are actually with Akrura at this point. So we are not in 5,000 years away. We are actually there, present and watching and hearing Akrura's mood and mind and how he is experiencing, as Maharaj explained yesterday, how nicely, that we also, in a sense, can, due to the mercy of Shukadeva Goswami, we can now appreciate Akrura's feelings. So then he saw the footprints. How did he know those were the footprints of the Lord? Yeah, there's mark. How many marks are on Krishna's feet? Question. Yeah, thank you. You are a Krishna Bhakta. There are 19 signs on Krishna's lotus feet. There's like 11 on one feet and 8 on another one. Yeah, like that. When Mahaprabhu came, he had both the signs of Radha's lotus feet as well as Krishna's lotus feet. Yeah. In any case, here Sukadeva Goswami highlights, at least he highlights the lotus, the barley corn, and the elephant gourd. The stick they used to guide the elephant. So I was wondering what they represented. So I looked up, and it says lotus means it increases the nectar in the minds of the devotees who meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna. And just like the lotus goes up above the water and then opens up in the stalk, it says they also receive the highest benefit as devotees. Yeah? Highest benefit, blessings, those who meditate on the lotus feet. Okay, yeah. And it is also said that the goddess of fortune resides on his lotus feet doing service. We also know, right? She is massaging the lotus feet. So one of the signs, the lotus, also represents Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. Also, the meditation by the devotees on the lotus feet removes ignorance and increases their ecstasy or ecstatic feelings for Krishna. That's another reason why we should meditate on Krishna's lotus feet. And it is said that the feet of Krishna, it is so soft. It is soft like the lotus petals. So if you haven't felt a lotus petal, maybe it's about time before they also become extinct, Yeah, so go and feel it. It's really soft. It's really very nice to touch like that. So some of the acharyas say the lotus feet of Krishna, when they look at it, it appears like a blossoming flower itself, like the lotus flower. So that's another reason why they say it is a lotus feet. So there's so many reasons already. And then it says, just like the bee who goes into the lotus flower, the devotee's mind also goes into the lotus feet of Krishna in meditation. Amazing, huh? The description. So that's another very nice way of understanding it. And devotees who are attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna automatically beyond jnana and vairagya. Dry knowledge and renunciation is not our philosophy. Ours is the mood of wanting to, even though we automatically do renunciation and knowledge comes in because we practice bhakti, right? Jnana asu vairagyam jnanam jahad ahai tukam. Okay, so by doing devotional service, automatically jnana and vairagya manifests. So by meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, that is also part of our devotional service. Remember Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So we can also meditate on the lotus feet. Remember how the lotus feet is. Of course, we are not endowed with the love, prema like that. We don't have that in our hearts. So when we look at Krishna's feet, even Radha Nila Madhava's feet like that, we don't see those marks on his feet. But if we at a higher consciousness and affection, we can see those feet, or Krishna will reveal to us. As we become more and more dependent on Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate and show us his lotus feet. The other point that I read was that Vrindavan Dham is like a lotus flower. So what it means is Krishna, whose lotus feet never leaves Vrindavan Dham, which is at his feet like that. So he never leaves Vrindavan Dham. So that's another. I thought that was also very nice. His feet always remain in the lotus, which means he always stays in Vrindavan like that. And then finally, the last point I had was the lotus also represents happiness, full happiness. And the Lord uses the lotus to give blessings to the devotees. Just like in the case of which devotee got the lotus? Dhruva Maharaj or anyone else? Yeah, which devotee got the lotus? The Lord touched him with the lotus. Kardama Muni and Gajendra. He offered the lotus. Gajendra offered the lotus. That much I remember. And so the Lord always blesses either with the lotus or the conch shell. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Alright, so that's what the lotus represents. Then I wanted to know what the barley corn represented. Barley corn is described in the by I think Vishwanath Chakravarti. He says it is like a devotee will receive all enjoyable opulence from the Lord when they serve him. So automatically you get all the opulence. But the opulence that we want from the Lord is not material opulence. The opulence we want is the opulence of service. No, we don't want money or anything like that. So another opinion is when you take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, all the difficulties that we face becomes just as small as 1 grain of barley. So that's the other nice, I thought was also nice. Okay, so then let me see. Yeah. Okay, and then this is a nice one. Just like the barley is the sustenance for all living entities, the lotus feet are the nourishment for all souls. That's also a nice one. And then the other one is the elephant god, the stick that they used to ankusha. Yeah. By meditation, the elephant of the devotee's mind, remember the elephant offense, like that. So the elephant of the devotee's mind is brought under control by meditating on the lotus feet. So many reasons why we should. So there are 19 signs. I'm only going to talk about these 3 that's described. So like that. And brought under control. The mind is brought under control when you meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna. And it also says that as you meditate often, you become superior to people who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Just like one who rides an elephant, right? He is on top and everyone is on the walking beside the elephant. So he is higher. It says like that. So you are, in a sense, blessed by the Lord. You have better qualities. So therefore you are a better human being, like that. Or a devotee. So that's what Akrura saw. And immediately he got down and jumped and started to roll. And remember, I was explaining last week also, when you go to the Dham, look for a place where you can roll, because everywhere is now concrete and tar. But it doesn't matter. Still the Dham, these are all external. So you can still see if you can roll or not. Or maybe in front of Bhakti Dham it's all dust and so on. Or go to one of the construction sites. Okay, bricks in front. So, yeah, and Yamuna doesn't look like Yamuna. Or maybe it does look like Yamuna. It's darkish in color, because Yamuna is darkish in color. Used to be clear when many years ago when I looked at it. Now it's all black, like that. So all this experience of Akrura, for him, one of the things is this: when Krishna walked on the planet, because of his feet touching the planet, he was actually blessing the entire Bhumi. This planet is blessed place. Even though we say the Dham, Vrindavan Dham is the best of the Lord, which is true, but still, because he came to this planet, he did his pastime, this entire planet is blessed. Yeah. So in one sense, just like Prabhupada said, wherever you are, if you have Krishna in your heart, it is also Vrindavan. Yeah. So just like here, this place where we have Radha Nila Madhava, this is also the Dham. It is important, no, for us to see these things, because like I was explaining earlier, the Vrindavan Dham is not covered with concrete and all kinds of material things, and so for some of us, the association may not be so real anymore when we go there. We only see buildings and so on. We don't see the beautiful countryside. We don't see the wonderful mustard flowers growing anymore. It's so difficult now if you go there. So you're constantly reminded of the material world, actually. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Giridhari Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Shri Intai Chaitanya Chandra. Shri Shri Intai Gauru Chandra. Iskcon Guru Vrinda ki Jai. Yeah, so in the Dham it's like that nowadays. There's a constant reminder. Almost every home or house you see a satellite dish, So it's a constant, right? It's a constant harassment of the material energy. It's a test for our mind. Like I mentioned, our greatest enemy is not anybody. It's our own mind. It creates all kinds of obstacles for us. By following the process Srila Prabhupada gave, this mind can become the best of our friends. we can sharpen our intelligence by reading the scriptures like that. So here you see how from the beginning of his trip from Mathura, Akrura is using his body, how he's using his mind to think of Krishna, and how he's glorifying Krishna. So our journey to Vrindavan should be like that also. Right? If you're going for Kartik, or anytime you're going to the Dham, so you should start auspiciously, speak about Krishna, talk about Krishna, borrow Krishna, what is that? Bhajo Krishna, yeah. So you have to speak about Krishna, glorify Krishna, chant about Krishna from the beginning and at the end. That the desire to want to please Krishna is very important. We are not going to the Dham just because we want to go, it doesn't enhance our relationship with Krishna. We're going for a few reasons. Prabhupada explains that we go to seek out sadhus. Because why? They have Krishna and they can reveal Krishna to us. So that's one of the reasons why we are going. The other reason is we also can always, you never know, Krishna can show his darshan to us in the Dham also. You don't know. So, but yes, you get the darshan of Krishna in the various temples in the form of the deities presiding there. So that's another reason why we go. And we remember the pastimes, When you take the parikram, you walk next to Yamuna, you think of many pastimes of Krishna at the Yamuna bank, and also with the Kaliya Krishna. All these are very necessary for our purification. So that's one way. And his ecstasy is revealed here. As soon as he saw the footprints, his bodily hair stood on end. As soon as we reach Vrindavan, we are thinking, where is our room? We want to put down our stuff and maybe take a shower and rest like that, right? It's like that. We are constantly harassed by the material energy, that we want to be free of these difficulties. But then in Vrindavan it should be like Vaikuntha, no distress, no such thing. But you'll find the distress increases actually in the Dham. It's a challenge, that's right. We are tested by the Yogamaya potency to see what is our qualification. Whereas you see Akrura's mood is totally different. Even though he understood Kamsa wants to kill him, he's not interested in that aspect of it. His aspect is how I can serve Krishna. Right? He says how I want to serve, How am I going to receive the orders? How am I going to do that for Krishna? So he's so happy that he feels ecstasy, and in that ecstasy he rolls without thinking who he is. So therefore he rolls on the ground, And in this particular verse, it says like hitva. Hitva here means giving up. So what did he give up? He gave up three things. Dambam, which means pride, biyam, fear, and socham, sorrow. He gave up all these three things. So similarly, when we are in the Dham, we should give up all these three things, because we are there to try to connect with Krishna. Somehow or other we are trying to connect with Krishna. You're not trying to connect with anything else. So that needs practice. That practice has to be perfected before we leave this body. With a constant reminder of our mind, our activities that we do. It should be a personal endeavor to try to meet Krishna, and that personal endeavor includes a lot of service. You can't just go to Krishna simply just not doing service. You have to do both. You have to serve as well as you have to do your other prescribed activities in your devotional life. So both must be there. Otherwise we get into one of this pride situation. Particularly here in the purport, He gave up fear by showing love and for Krishna. So here he's giving up, which means he was so afraid to do it. Why was he so afraid? Because Kamsa might harm him or his family. Therefore, he was so disturbed by that. But when he saw all this wonderful, when he came into Vrindavan and saw all these wonderful signs of being Krishna being there and the footprints, he gave up those pride. He gave up that fear also. Say, who am I? I don't know. I'm just his devotee. I don't care. Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, na? When he was a high court judge and so on, magistrate. So when he retired, he went around begging for alms from people to build a temple for Krishna, like that. So he wasn't thinking, I am a big magistrate, now I am retired, I should sit down, people should serve me. Like, no, he wasn't thinking like that. And Prabhupada also gives about some a great person that who was so big minister or something. He also, when he retired, he became a humble servant of Krishna. Lal Babu, yeah, in Vrindavan, yeah. So these are to show us that we have to also be like that to get the mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, our goal of life don't make sense. Here Akrura is saying, this is the dust of my master. This is the very goal of life for all embodied beings. This feeling of happiness. This is the goal of life, he's saying. This is the ecstasy that he wants. He's openly saying, this is it. And another thing is, he's no more fear because he doesn't care. Why? Because Kamsa has spies everywhere, watching and listening, So he said, I don't care anymore. This is my goal of life. I don't care. To hell with it. So he's showing that he's not afraid anymore. Let Kamsa get angry. Let him punish me. But this is the goal of life. So therefore he gave up his fear. How could he give up the fear? Because he was constantly thinking and meditating about the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that's another reason why we need to meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna and his devotees like that. So showing love and reverence. And then pride. Pride. He had pride. What was his pride? His pride as being born in a very aristocratic family, the Yadu Vamsa, the Vrishnis. He was thinking like that. Son of Swapalka, the great sage who came to the city of Angada, and then and which was in so much pestilence and famine. As soon as he walked in, the rain came. So these are amazing personalities in the Vedas. We may think it may have been by chance it rained. No, it's not like that. These personalities had so much. Not just piety, they had so much potency and blessings of the Lord that they could bring rain if they want. Just like in Hyderabad, when Srila Prabhupada was in 1971-72, I think, when they were there, they had drought. So Prabhupada told the devotees, go out and do this Harinam. And then when they did, the rain fell. Prabhupada said it will happen, and it happened. So we should also understand this potency is there. So no more fear, no more pride, no more sorrow. Sorrow means to be worried about what will happen to my home, what will happen to my children, what will happen to my husband, what will happen to my wife, what will happen to my business, so many things. Or what would people talk, my family, relatives will talk about me. Now that I've become a devotee, they'll speak bad about me, right? I remember when we were devotees in the early days, they used to tell us, the common, in the streets when we go out, do books or on Harinam, they say, go get a job, you slackers, you're living off other people, like that they would tell. But they don't know our activities. They didn't know that we were getting up so early and taking care of the deities and, and doing other activities for the welfare of human society. We weren't doing it for ourselves. If at all, we all were only looking forward to going back to the temple at the end of the day to get some prasad or something like that. So it was like that, But most people, they want all these things. They want the position, they want wealth, they want all these things. Just like Kunti was saying, right? Janma Ishwarya Sruta Shrive Yadamana Madapuman. Right? She says that. What is that? Naiva Harti Abhidat Aditatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gochara. So he says only one who don't have this position, wealth, opulence, high parentage, bodily beauty, people are always thinking and pursuing this. One who has given up all on this, they can approach Krishna. They can very nicely approach Krishna because they are not thinking about themselves anymore. There's no more false ego there. The real ego manifests that whatever my position is, Krishna, let me try to serve you. Let me try to give you something that even though you don't need, let me at least try something to serve you. Like that. That mood comes in because we realize our fallen condition. Unless we know that we are fallen, truly fallen, we cannot reach this stage of meditation also. It's not possible because it hampers. These material faculties and facilities are going to make us think it's okay, that we are better than another person, we are superior to them, like that. But that's not the thing. Thinking of lotus, I just remembered also that Queen Kunti also says, right? Nama Pankaja Navaya, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Malini, and Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangaraya. That's a beautiful. So she also worships the Lord as lotus, lotus eyes, lotus face. So beautiful. Yeah, lotus glances, lotus navel, like that, and lotus feet, like that. So she was like, I pay obeisance to all these things, like that. To you who represent all aspects of the beautiful lotus, you look like a lotus, like that. Yeah. So it was like that. So the point here is, unless we give up on the material energy, or use the material energy actually in the service of Krishna. If we use it in the service of Krishna, it has to be for his pleasure. Not that we use it for our equal 50-50 sometimes. We think, okay, I'm doing it, Krishna, so that we both can enjoy, right? Just like this story of a lame guy who had some grains he had, and then these people, they didn't have anything, so they brought all the husk, and then they say, look, I have husk and you have grain. So the boy wasn't so smart. He said, we will share, we'll mix it together and share 50-50, like that. So we are like that with Krishna, everything he provides, and yet when we get nice facilities, we don't really want to give to Krishna anything. It's like that, we tend to cover things and so on, like that. Now pride is based on all these things, where Queen Kunti is saying, pride is based on how much wealth we have, how educated I am, right? What kind of beauty I have, so beautiful, I'm what caste I am, Brahman caste, Kshatriya caste, Vaishya. Oh, Shudra, oh, okay, go away, it's like that, But then we know we are all Shudras in this age. Still, we are so caste-oriented, caste-conscious, thinking I am better than, big deal, At the end of the day, it is how you do your japa, You judge a person by how they chant and how they behave, not what they have, like that. So these are all symptoms of envy. If you show off like that, your wealth, your position, your education, like caste, strength, all this. Oh, I have all this. It's actually symptoms of envy. Yeah? Envy also includes all the other things: madness, illusion, greed, all the other aspects of it. So we have to be very careful to come to the stage of how Akrura is behaving, particularly in Vrindavan. We have to also see, we have to give up just like he gave up. He's at a pure devotee level and he gave up, according to the purport. We are not there, so how much we have to give up, no? Like that. And if you are non-envious, then it's easy to get to liberation. If you are envious, you only get to entanglement. Because it's always the ego will compete and say, look, he has that, she has that, they have that, we must have that. Yeah, like that. Right? Certainly most of us are trying our best, but maybe we should reassess our attempt in wanting to go back to Godhead. In a sense, Akrura's move from Mathura to Vrindavan is going back to Godhead. So what he's doing to go back to Godhead, in one sense. Like I said, we try, but maybe the attempt is not full-hearted in our cases, most of our cases. We may judge sometimes thinking that, oh, I am doing better than the other devotee. That is also not a good mood, Rather one should think, oh, how unfortunate that we don't know how to help the other devotee, rather than thinking I'm doing better. Materially you can say, well, I'm lucky that I got something to do, but then spiritually we should think differently for the benefit of people we want to help, actually. It's unfortunate I can't help like that. I'm so fallen I can't help. Yeah. So anyway, I think, this is what I wanted to highlight. If there's any comments or additions or corrections, feel free to do so. Tomorrow is a long purport and no purport, long translation. Comments, questions? Oh, okay. Yes. Sure.
And last time I was in Vrindavan, one devotee gave class, and he spoke from the Bhagavad Gita, divine and demonic natures. And the first quality of the divine natures is that you're fearless. And he said, he preaches in colleges, and he said that chapter always tends to come up more often as the kids are interested in, well, what is that, right? And so then the first quality is fearlessness. And it's explained that fearlessness is based in humility because we're simply depending on Krishna. And you highlighted that so nicely, talking about Akrura, because at any point, if he showed that he was sympathetic to Krishna, he would be killed. Because Kamsa doesn't want Krishna to know that he's planning on killing him. And he's got all these arrangements already set up in Mathura to kill Krishna. And if you just have to get rid of your messenger, that's not a big deal for Kamsa. He can kill his nephews. But it's true. He was completely surrendered to Krishna. All that meditation, everything he lays down on the ground shows that I am Krishna's devotee. He is my master, not Kamsa. Completely fearless.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. Anyone else? Add something. All right. Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Brahmanandi.